Hello, is this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream? And this stream I'm going to be doing my event week stream for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. But yeah, starting off this event week is actually an 11 day event week or something. It is a prolonged event week. I believe it ends on like Monday, like the 13th of December or something. I think the 13th of December is a Monday. So yeah, realistically, that's kind of hinting towards the update dropping on December 14th for Tuesday. They usually do drop updates on Tuesday. So yeah, I think this is a prolonged event week for a good reason. Red Dead's been getting prolonged event weeks for a while, so that doesn't really mean too much for Red Dead necessarily. But yeah, GTA Online does have a prolonged event week this time around. We're just gonna get out the way today. I was kind of gonna wait for the prison outfit to get delivered, the penitentiary outfit for the DK briefing, whatever, but yeah. I didn't really feel like waiting a couple more days on this event stream for an outfit or something. But yeah, podium vehicle for the week is the Mammoth Squatty. Pretty recent vehicle released in the last couple of DLCs. Yeah, Mammoth Squatty is part of Calbrigo Heist, which is the previous update before this Santos Tuners update, obviously. 4-seater. It's a 4-seater, and yeah. By getting it, you'll save at least $1,130,000. Plus, you'll probably save around 20, 30, 40,000, somewhere around that for a delivery that's already on it, as long as you keep the exact same delivery that's already on it. So you could save a bit more if you keep delivery on it. But yeah, the Mammoth Squatty, it is on war stock, so you would expect us to have a lot of nice purpose, because it does kind of look armored. It can kind of look like it's armored, but it's really not from what I know. And I think there is armor stuff you can put on the windows for modifications and the Los Santos customs. But from what I remember hearing, there are only cosmetic customizations for the armor platings or something on it. It's not like it's actually functional or something like it is for the Insurgent pickup custom and stuff like that. I'm pretty certain from what I've heard. So yeah, it is a pretty disappointing vehicle. It's mainly just a racing it's mainly a racing vehicle for performance and stuff like that, and it's not really good in that aspect either. And obviously it's a good vehicle to customize. The customizations I remember is pretty nice. But yeah, functionality, you expect more from a Warstock vehicle, especially when it looks armored and stuff. I'm pretty certain I remember it doesn't have explosive resistance. And it also, I think it does have armor plating like I said, but I don't think it actually does anything. I think it's just for cosmetic looks and stuff. Unlike vehicles like the Insurgent Pickup Custom again, which it is actually functional. So yeah, very disappointing vehicle. And yeah, for the performance, it's actually an 18th place for lap time, and then a 19th place for top speed in the SUV class out of 33 different vehicles, going off a roughly 1322 spreadsheet. So yeah, it's below average for lap time and top speed for the SUV class. And yeah, SUVs, you're probably not going to be doing races for that class anyways. So yeah, I feel it's pretty much a disappointing vehicle all around. The only good thing I would give it would probably be the customizations. But yeah, I remember hearing it doesn't have explosive resistance and that the armor plating isn't actually functional on it. So it's not one I would really keep necessarily. Alright. Premium race and all that stuff. Premium race for the week is the sign of things to come for the motorcycle class. And yeah, I'm gonna assume it's mainly lap time because it looks to be on the Vinewood Hill area. Which yeah, a lot of Vinewood Hill roads around there have a lot of turns and stuff. So I'm just gonna assume it's mainly for lap time here. So I'll go over number 1 lap time, I will go over number 1 top speed as well when going over the time trial. And going off of memory, I remember the number 1 lap time for the motorcycle class is Nagasaki Shotaro. It's a $2.2, $2.3 million motorcycle from the Bikers update. I believe it's one you have to actually unlock for purchase on like most vehicles, which are actually already available for purchase. I think you have to play a match of deadline in order to unlock the Nagasaki Shotaro. And it's a pretty interesting motorcycle. I think it's the only one that you can move forward or backward with the stick for that best possible speed. So Nagasaki Shotaro is a pretty good one, I would say. But I wouldn't say it's the best motorcycle. If you want the best average motorcycle, it is actually the Body 801, which is like 10,000, 9,000, 8,000 from day one of the game on 7 San Andreas. So pretty much at the bottom of the 7 San Andreas website for that one. Which you can literally get a Body 801 and all its upgrades easily in like 1 hour with a Cow Perico Ice these days. So I would probably go a Body 801 if you want the best average performance. But yeah, if you think there's only lots of lap time, then Nagasaki Shotaro can have some advantages as well. Time trial. I think it's Grove Street, I believe, here. I know God is giving me Grove Street game flashbacks or whatever. Because, yeah, that disaster with the trilogy and stuff. But yeah. Doesn't really say where it goes to, but the part-time is a minute 20. I'm not really want to, like, go to it and, like, press right and look on the map and stuff. That's probably going to take, like, a couple of few minutes or something. But yeah. There's lots of, like, turns and stuff kind of around there, so yeah, I'm going to assume it's a lifetime again, obviously. But yeah. Top speed for the motorcycle class for the number 1 option. I remember it being in my box matches Scowl, which is, again, from like the top heist, similar to the Mammoth Squatty, so it's a pretty easy vehicle to find. I believe it was like literally right on that screen, probably with the Squatty or like around there. But yeah. I believe that became the new number 1 lap time as of the previous update. Or number 1 top speed if it's the lap time for the motorcycle class. If you're not going to use a motorcycle, I would imagine supercars would probably be the best thing to use for like an actual like vehicle, not a motorcycle. Though I do recommend a motorcycle, like I mentioned in other things. Yeah, about 801, and I'm pretty sure the Manchester Scout, like with most motorcycles in the game, I believe you have to lean backward with the stick as if you're doing like a wheelie for that speed. But yeah. Number 1 lap time supercar from roughly 152 spreadsheet, I recall being the Progen Emirates, which is like $2.7, $2.9 million from Diamond Casino Resort DLC, so like a mid-2019 release on Dream Motorsport. So it shouldn't be too far down that website. But yeah, that's the number 1 lap time supercar Progen Emirates. That'll probably take like a couple hours of Kyle Prigo to get in full or whatever with like performance upgrades and stuff. And then the number 1 top speed for the supercar class, if you're going to use a supercar, but I don't really feel top speed would be that good. First one would be the P-Fister 811. P-Fister 811, number 1 top speed for the supercar class. That's actually like a mid-2016 release on the Dream Motorsport website. It's probably around where like Jotaro is and stuff like that, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah, that's the number 1 lap time, number 1 top speed in supercars for those curious. But yeah, best vehicle for a time trial as well. Same thing I could say with the premium race this time around since it's motorcycle class. The best average, which is number 3 lap time, number 3 top speed, is the Pegassi Body 801, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, Body 801 is basically the best for like any regular time trial. And Body 801's probably going to be the best option, I would say, for the premium race. And the RC Bandito time trial, I just pretty much want to show off what it is, and then I'll give a bit of advice on who to go to if you want like a guide or something on YouTube or something. Where is that RC Bandito one? Okay, it's over here. But yeah. I do have a guide on this RC Bandito time trial. It's one of like 4 I bothered doing a guide for, but yeah, I got pretty bored of making that series, and I was like, might as well put some of that effort into like better things and whatnot. But yeah, for a good channel for RC Bandito time trial guys, I believe GTMN is a pretty good channel for the RC Bandito time trials and as well as regular time trials. If you want a regular RC Bandito time trial guide, I'd say GTMN is a good channel. He has around a couple 100,000 subscribers, I'm pretty certain of it. So yeah, I would imagine it's pretty reliable. I don't watch it myself because I don't really care for the time trials personally, and the money for them, I don't feel it's too worth it, especially with Capri Guys being a thing now, but yeah. GK Man's a good channel for that, or just GK series videos as well, but they don't commentate, so you would have to kind of like look at what they do and whatnot. So that's a couple channel recommendations for some guides on the RSB data and regular time trial. And yeah, since I've been done for a while, of course, with the like tuners like vehicles, since I only wanted 10 of them and I showed off all 10. Again, I'm continuing with showing off my like Benny's vehicle collection. I'm pretty sure last time I showed off the Faction Custom, like a regular Faction Custom, not the Donk. But yeah, this time I decided to show off the Banshee 900R. And the build I went for is actually kind of a theme for it, which I might kind of explain. Might as well make some fun out of like the car meet and showing off like your personal vehicles and stuff like that. But yeah, I went like a metallic blue, I believe, and like an ice white or something like that for the primary and then secondary respectively. And I think the reason for it is because I think Rockstar themselves did like a real life like Banshee around the release of Grand Theft Auto 5 back in like 2013 or something like that, so I made like the build of my 900R similar to that. Obviously I know it's for the regular Banshee, but I wanted to kind of do it for this vehicle, which is basically more customized Banshee gear. But yeah, Banshee 900R is actually still a pretty like good vehicle for performance, for top speed for the supercar class. But yeah, it's a sport car, the Banshee, and then you convert to super. But yeah, the lap time is one of the few worst in the supercar class. So the lap time is horrible, which is most races. But yeah, it is one of the best couple. It is one of the best couple top speed options though for the supercar class. So this is actually one of the vehicles I'm showing off for my Benny's collection that is actually still considered kind of good in a sense. Yeah, I kind of themed it off of like the real life Banshee, but yeah, I did like carbon stuff and whatnot because obviously it's a more customizable Banshee. So the theme, I actually did have a good reason for doing the theme I did. And yeah, I did like the white colored headlights to go with the white secondary. But because the neon's like, the stock neon color is white, so I went like blue on the neon underglow. And yeah, I went one with the liveries. Which, funnily enough, the like regular Banshee now is like more liveries, I'm pretty sure, than the 900R. The regular Banshee SG has more liveries in this vehicle, since it's been gaining liveries with the latest update, actually. But yeah, here's the part where I go over like the test track and like the prize ride and stuff like that. Test track, of course, the vehicles are not traditionally on discount, but I still like to mention the test track in case people test things out and wonder how they do, if they think they like the way that a vehicle performs or something like that. But yeah, the Ubermax Cypher here, I'll start with this one. I can't exactly remember the like tuner like performance because on the spreadsheet I used the like performance is really just for the like primary vehicle classes that's on the spreadsheet I used. They don't really have like the tuner performance of the vehicles on the spreadsheet I used. So, and yeah, pretty much every sport vehicle tends to be better off when it comes to the tuner subclass of races, like the street races and pursuit races. But yeah, the Ubermax Cypher, when this first came out, I don't remember it being that good, and obviously there's more vehicle releases after the Ubermax Cypher. So yeah, the Ubermax Cypher, I wouldn't really bother with this one. It's not one of the better tuner vehicles whatsoever. And it's also one of the like 12 like tuner sport cars, but like I mentioned, not a good one. So I would kind of avoid the Grimlock Cypher, unless of course it's like a prize ride and a challenge them bad or something. Next one here is actually the Obey Tailgater S. This one I kind of like just because of the unique class in here. It's one of the few non-sport tuner vehicles, so it's actually a sedan, which is cool. There's two tuner sedans, that's actually the better of the two. The other sedan is actually the worst performing of the tuners in terms of the 17 tuners in the tuner subclass. But I believe this one's like number 2 lap time in like the sedan class, so it is a pretty good performing sedan vehicle. So it is better performing in its main class compared to the tuner subclass. And I believe it's also the only like 4-door tuner vehicle as well, which means it's actually very good, I imagine, for the robbery contracts if you're playing the robbery contracts with more than 2 people. So if you're playing the robbery contracts with more than 2 people, Obey Tailgater S could definitely be a pretty good pickup, I would say. Not that any of these are on discount, of course, just mentioning them because they're on the test track, so I might as well, because these change weekly, or every time there's an event week, but yeah. Whereas this one's like an 11-day event week, so yeah, it's going to be longer till these change. And this time they threw an interesting wrench in it again. Last time they've really done an interesting vehicle was like a few to several weeks back with like the Ocelot Pariah. But yeah, this is actually a sport vehicle, and it's not tied to the tuner subclass whatsoever, actually. It's not to be confused with the Sultan RS Classic, which is the tuner one, but this one's the regular Sultan Classic. And I'll prove that as well, that's not from the tuners update. But yeah. The Sultan Classic here is actually back from the Diamond Casino Heist update, back from like late 2019. So yeah, it's a very interesting vehicle they chose here, because usually they just do the tuner like vehicles for test track vehicles. So the Sultan Classic here is pretty interesting. And I think it does perform pretty good. I'll actually have a look at the performance on this spreadsheet, and I'm using it on my phone here, so I can kind of talk about it a bit. But yeah. The Sultan Classic is actually an 11th place lap time, so it did kind of get dethroned with lap time. So 11th place is just a tiny bit beneath the top 10, so I feel it could still be okay in some cases for lap time. And then top speed for the Sultan Classic. Top speed for the regular Sultan Classic here is actually... I gotta find it here. Alright, the Sultan Classic in top speed is actually 56th place. So the lap time can be okay. It's only like 1 placement beneath top 10, which makes it kind of usable, I guess. But yeah. The lap time is actually 1 placement, I believe, above the Sultan RS Classic, which is actually new for the Santos tuners update, so it does perform slightly better lap time in the actual sport class than the Sultan RS Classic. But yeah, that top speed is not good at all. I'm actually going to test drive it, why not? Because it is a pretty interesting choice to choose this time around. Instead of choosing for like the 17 different tuner vehicles. Like, yeah, the other 2 are tuners, but it's pretty cool that they did a different one for once again. Like, second time they've done a non-tuner in the test track. Might as well for that little tiny bit of reputation. I know I'm like 156, but still. I want that like 192 eventually for autumn liveries. I think the leak is that like the new like update's gonna be like a fixers update, which sounds like it would kind of be a continuation off of tuners. So who knows? It could have like more stuff tied to reputation in the future or something. But I was a little kind of breakdown of the different like tuner vehicles on the test track, like which ones are kind of worth it, which ones aren't. I'd say honestly the best pickup this time around, if you were to get anything on the test track, would probably be the Tailgater S, because it's a pretty unique classing for the tuner subclass in particular, because 12 of them are livery sport cars for the tuner subclass. And yeah, the Sultan Classic is in 11th place at the time, which does fall a tiny bit beneath, I would say, the top 10. That's actually kind of usable, I would say, for sport races. So that one could kind of be a good pickup, but yeah, I definitely think the Tailgater S here is probably the best pickup this time around. Prize ride this time is the Emperor Vector, and I actually kind of forgot you can actually do the down thing like that there to see the vehicle name. I actually kind of forgot about that because it doesn't really say in the Prize Ride Challenge menu. But yeah. This time around, the Prize Ride Challenge is for Alice Car Meet Series, which is basically any like new race from the like tuners update, Santos tuners update. And you gotta place top 5 in 12 races. I'm assuming it means just the ones in the pause menu. So obviously I'll show them off, but yeah, it's a pretty easy challenge, so if you really want it, you could easily get it. There's no like day in a row kind of thing or something like that. But yeah, the better one to do would definitely be the street races, because it has a 2-player minimum, so it's easier to start them up and whatnot, and obviously you and a friend could literally go back and forth in these races, and one wins one time, another one's the other time if you want to help someone else out. So that's definitely obviously the best way easily to get the Emperor Vector. And obviously you could do like 4 and 5 player pursuit races and be just fine as well for the guaranteed like 1 out of 12. As long as you're in a race of at least 5 players minimum. I mean at max, if you're in a race at max of 5 players, and you're basically guaranteed to get a thing on the Prize Ride Challenge, obviously. Since you just place top 5 in 12 races, super easy. And yeah, the Emperor Vector is actually pretty good in lap time, actually. However, though, the top speed is one of the worst between the tuner subclass of the 17 tuner vehicles. So yeah, that lap time is pretty damn good. It's not the best anymore. I think it's like 2nd place now, not the like Sultan RS Classic. I believe dethroned it. And the thing is, the Sultan RS Classic, the tuner one, not the one on the test track right now, but yeah, the tuner Sultan RS Classic, that actually has a pretty average top speed, yet it's the number 1 like lap time as well. Whereas this one I think is like number 2 on the lap time for the tuner subclass. And then its top speed is one of the worst actually in the tuner subclass. So for lap time, which is most races, it can be pretty good, so this can be a nice pickup, but yeah. I definitely think the Sultan RS Classic is a way better pickup. And also, I don't know why they don't just do the like Comet S2 on the like prize ride. I checked on the GTA weekend, and they've done like 16 out of 17 of the like tuner subclass vehicles on the prize ride at least once. The only tuner vehicle that's yet to be a prize ride, I believe, is the Comet S2, yet with this prolonged event week, which suggests a new DLC on December like 14th, essentially. You would think they would do the last of the like tuner vehicles that need to be on the like prize ride still, which is like the Comet S2. Like I mentioned, I think that's the only one that hasn't been a prize ride so far. Not to be confused with the Growler, but yeah. I don't see why they keep repeating ones when they still have a whole vehicle to Comet S2 that they could have done on there. But still, Emperor Vector can still be a pretty decent pickup because, of course, it's good in lap time for the tuner subclass. But yeah. Sultan RS Classic in terms of general performance is way better, but still a good pickup. Gotta see what I'm gonna talk about next here. I gotta go on to Rockstar News more on my phone, so I can do this, because, yeah, no benefit section like there is for Reddit Online, which is not super useful, would be super helpful for these, but, yeah. Alright. But, yeah. I didn't really talk about the title yet, because that, like, the prize ride to talk about, and, like, the floating vehicle and whatnot. But, yeah. The title I chose, which I felt was the best thing to mention for the event week stream, was that there's 1.5 times money in the bunker sales. Bunker, that's the business. The thing that you get from, like, the gun running DLC. And the good thing about the bunker is you can actually buy supplies if you want, which can turn this business into a passive business. Whereas if you get the supplies yourself with your actual character, you're turning it into an active business, which that's not very efficient if you're trying to make a lot of money in this game. So yeah, you save like 75,000 per time you like buy supplies. But yeah, you save like 75,000 each time compared to buying supplies or whatever, but yeah. You might as well buy supplies for the bunker at 75,000 and then do a Cayo Perico heist for like an hour or 2 to 3 hours. Because I think if you have staff and equipment, it takes like 2.5 to like 3 hours, I think, to get full production on like one thing of bot supplies. And yeah, if you're solo like myself, I do mainly recommend just buying one thing of supplies, because the nice thing with the bunkers, but yeah, the nice thing with the bunkers, if you buy just one thing of supplies, you're actually guaranteed a soloable, like, sell mission or whatever. I don't think I've had one time where I bought like one thing of supplies where like the sale requires more than one player. So as long as you limit yourself to one thing of supplies, which this week will be like 300 something thousand, being 1.5 since they didn't do like 2 times with like 400 to like 20,000, I think it is on 2 times. But yeah, you probably make like low 300 like thousand with one thing of supplies. Minus 75,000 for buying supplies, you can make a couple 100,000 in profit with 1.5 times. So it is still kind of worth doing. Like I mentioned, just between like the 2 to 3 hours, you can do like Cayo Perico while it produces, when making it passive by buying the supplies instead of like actually sourcing it yourself. So yeah, definitely buy the supplies and make your like. Definitely buy the supplies and make like millions through Cayo Perico heist while you like wait. That's kind of the best way, I would say, for making money this week for the prolonged event week, because yeah, it's more than 7 days long, so extra time for the 1.5 times, which is definitely quite nice. I just don't understand why it's not 2 times, because they've clearly done 2 times before, especially with their disaster in the trilogy. You would think they would do 2 times, but whatever. But yeah, none of the sale missions I don't think are that bad as long as you're buying one thing of supplies again, which is the best way to go about it solo. And yeah, I'm assuming, and yeah, staff and equipment, you might need staff and equipment for the soloable, like one buying supply, like sell missions, whatever, like I mentioned. But yeah, with like staff and equipment, you make like 300 something thousand, I'm assuming, with 1.5 times, because I think on 2 times it's like 420,000 or something. And yeah, plus there's still like 1% bonus per like player in like a public lobby if you're selling in like a populated lobby or something, up to like 25 players or something, I think. Yeah, that's gun running, stall missions. There's a couple things in the pause menu I'll mention here, I suppose. But yeah. First one here will be versus. And yeah, one of the like modes they're bringing back for a limited time is Top Fun. Top Fun 2, and then Top Fun 3 are all 2 times money in RP. And yeah, it's supposed to be like a mode where you go after people in like lasers on one team, and then one other team, I guess you're running away from them or something. Sounds like a pretty fun mode on paper, and definitely one I haven't played in like forever, so I can't really exactly say what it is, but yeah. And I'm assuming the payout would be similar to like an adversary mode or something like that. I imagine the payout isn't that much different from like an adversary mode or something, so I feel it could be slightly worth doing. So if you want incentive to play this limited time versus mode they brought back since they're faulting modes as of the latest update, then yeah, definitely jump on that if you want to play Top Fun. Wouldn't recommend it though, again, because obviously a DLC is probably around the corner. Because a DLC is probably around the corner, because there's pretty much always December DLCs for Grand Theft Auto Online. And yeah, with the prolonged event week, it's basically suggesting that Tuesday, December 14th, will be the drop of a new DLC, which they've already hinted at a new DLC. They've already kind of announced it. Didn't say like a date, but yeah, the like prolonged event week suggests Tuesday, December 14th. But yeah, I think all the interior adversary modes are also on 3 times. I know at least the bunker, but the other ones too probably. Yeah, all the interior adversary modes 3 times. But yeah, the nice thing with the like different interior ones is that there's a huge variety of modes, whereas like Dead On, for example, you have like one mode with many different maps. Same with Hasta La Vista, you basically have like all these different maps, but it's just the same mode basically. But yeah, bunker, there's every bullet counts. That one's a mode where you have to like make every bullet count, because yeah, the marksman pistol it only has like a couple bullets, I believe, that you start with, so you literally have to make your bullets count. But because of like barely any like bullets, the mode could possibly last a while, so this could be a good one for making money if the like mode lasts a while, if people don't get their like shots very good and whatnot. The only annoying thing is that 4 to 8 player requirement though. Juggernaut, I feel this mode could go kinda quick, so I feel like the payout probably wouldn't be that great, because I feel the payout would definitely depend on like the amount of rounds that can be done in these different modes, as well as like how quick these different modes can go, which depends greatly on the different like adversary modes. Besides for the amount of rounds and how long the modes tend to last, there's not much to really differentiate the payouts, I imagine, on these different modes. Kill quota is like the gun game from Call of Duty in this game, I'm pretty sure, where you have to like level up through like a few different weapons or something like that. This one can definitely go pretty quick, I imagine. It's probably not a super good one for making money for the 3 times. Resurrection's like team deathmatch, so people can get resurrected and stuff. I feel this one could definitely be one of the longer ones. Slasher, that one can be one of the longer modes if the hunter's not that good, I imagine, but yeah. One person's hunter and then all the other people like run away from them, and depending on how good the hunter is, it could be a pretty unbalanced mode sometimes, so I don't know if I would really recommend this one too much. This one I definitely don't recommend Till Death Do Us Part, because it's like the Valentine's like mode. And I think if one person dies on your team, your whole team loses, so yeah, it's not that good of one. And actually all of these are 48 players for the bunker ones at least. And Trading Places, that's like a winner and loser one with different teams. There's a couple different ways you can do it. I don't know which one would be better for payout, but yeah. I think I played this a couple years back. I remember the payouts actually being pretty good for Trading Places, so I feel Trading Places could be one of the better ones to play. I feel if there's like a couple that are going to be pretty good, it might be Eerie Bullet Counts, Resurrection, and then Trading Places for the bunker. Diamond here. One mode that's the bunker does not have, I think the missile base doesn't have it either, is Entourage. But Entourage, you're basically evacuating a target, and there's like bodyguards and stuff, and like assassins. I think the assassins have unlimited lives. I'm not sure about the bodyguards, but yeah, obviously the target, they're like a 1 life person. it could be. I think I remember this one being pretty good for payout. Though I was supposed to like the outside maps, not like the interior one on the diamond, because I clearly haven't played any of the diamond modes, because yeah, I don't really care too much for adversary modes. But yeah. I feel this one could definitely be kind of good. And yeah, this one has every bullet counts as well. Hardest target, I think this one... I don't think that's a bunker. Yeah, I didn't think that was a bunker on there for like... Yeah, I don't think the bunker had that, and it didn't. But hardest target, I imagine again, it's kind of like Entourage, kind of, where one person is like a more important target, and then the other people have to protect a more important target, whatever. Diamond as Juggernaut and Kill Quota and Resurrection as well. And Slasher Trading Places, those are all in the bunker as well. And Missile Base also has every bullet counts, Hardest Target, Juggernaut, Kill Quota, Resurrection, Slasher, Till Death Just Part, and Trading Places. The one in the Missile Base that no other interior has is Power Play. And yeah, that one's basically with like power-ups and stuff. I'm imagining that depending on the power-ups you get, obviously you could have an advantage over other people and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel this one could be one of the longer-lasting ones as well. So that's a few different recommendations for the different modes. Again, the nice thing with these interior ones is you actually get multiple different modes, whereas if they were like one mode on like double, you basically only get like different maps. So the interior ones are kind of some of the better ones, I feel. Just the sucky thing is having the pretty boring interiors, kind of. But yeah. Now to talk about 2x money RP on mobile operations. But yeah. Mobile operations is the exclusive money opportunity that the MOC, Mobile Operations Center, has. Say all the different missions that you can start in the mobile operations, those are 2x money in RP. And there's a couple recommendations I feel. I don't have to think of like all the different vehicles I can think of. But yeah. The weaponized Tampa, I remember, has one called like Mole Hunt or something. I feel that one could be one of the better ones. I think the APC has one where I say go in the water because it has like the amphibious capabilities. I feel the APC one probably wouldn't be that great because I mean like go in the water and it's probably like pretty slow in the water and stuff like that. The half-track one, the half-track is pretty slow, so it could be one of the like longer-lasting ones, kind of like with the APC one. But yeah, the half-track one, I don't necessarily recall that one being the greatest either. Guess I've gone to like websites and remember the vehicles here. It's hard to explain them all unless I were to go into the MOC, but yeah, that'd be like a couple minutes and stuff. I'll have to go into like Carmi and stuff. But yeah. I think the Oppressor has a couple different... I think there's a couple different mobile operations tied to the Oppressor. I remember one of the Oppressor ones is probably one of the better like mobile operation missions. I think the one with like the Valkyries and stuff like that one's pretty annoying, but I think there's another Oppressor one that's pretty good if I remember. I don't think the Dune FAV one I remember being that good. I don't know, it wasn't necessarily that hard, but yeah. The weaponry and stuff's not the greatest on the Dune FAV, I don't know, that mobile operation could definitely be kind of good. And I don't really remember if the Night Shark had one, because it was a drip feed vehicle. I know the Arden, I definitely don't think had one. I don't know, I think the Night Shark might be, I think this one might be one of the mobile operations, and I don't necessarily remember that one being all that bad. So there's definitely a couple, like, better mobile operations, I would say, and a couple not so great ones as well. So that's kind of a little breakdown, though I haven't played them in years, so I don't remember the greatest, but yeah, that's a couple suggestions, I suppose. That might have been all the money opportunities finally that I explained there. So I gotta find out what else I'm gonna have to talk about here. Okay. There is some 2 times car meet reputation. The reputation that just popped up on the bottom right there. There's a couple 2 times things for that. But yeah. All LS car meet races, which is sprints, the street races, and then the pursuit races, are just 2 times car meet rep. So I guess you could kind of do sprints towards that, like 12 races if you want to like do sprints with like a friend, like free mode or something like that. That could be another way to maybe get the Emperor Vector for like the prize ride. But yeah, sprints, street races, and pursuits, all 3 of those are double car meet reputation if you want to rank that up faster. So I still recommend just being. I'll show it off real quick here, and this is actually kind of the best way of like getting a reputation in the game. So I don't recommend going for sprint pursuit races or like sprints for the reputation. Instead, this is the best strategy to do here, because essentially it lets you be AFK for as long as you want and not getting kicked like every 15 minutes or something. You just take a vehicle, back up, and then be on the screen, and you can't get kicked from being idle for like 15 minutes or something. And over time, you actually get reputation on this screen. That's actually the best way to get the reputation. It's not on 2 times, obviously, like those other things. And yeah, make sure to have LS car meet clothing on as well, because that gives some boost, at least today. AFK car meet reputation. So, like, for example, I don't have an outfit for the reputation right now, but yeah. Make sure to equip like some sort of LS car meet clothing, and you can increase the reputation for being AFK in the car meet as well. That's the best way to get the reputation. I feel the 2 times on like those races aren't really too worth doing the races for. You should definitely be making money, I think, this week. This whole event week should definitely be about making money, considering the updates right around the corner. So I wouldn't waste time on those races necessarily as much as you can. If you want any like way at all to make a reputation, just be AFK on that screen. And then it seems there's a login reward, and then I'm basically just gonna be talking about discounts for the rest of it. Yeah. But yeah, I think for me the like login reward was brand new, so I will be showing it off. I think it was in the DJ section. But I believe it was in the DJ section since I already looked at the clothing stuff because I was seeing if my like penitentiary outfit was in. But yeah, I don't think that happens till like December 5th or something. It's December 4th because they said like 72 hours after December 2nd, I think, for the Liberty City penitentiary outfit, whatever. I could go to this clothing store here.
Hope you find it, I guess.
Okay, maybe it was in a different section, because I did look at a lot of different clothing things that I've accumulated. Maybe it was radius. No, not radio stations. Trying to remember here.
See anything you like?
Yeah, the problem is I looked at like all my clothing stuff and it has like the stars for like when I was trying to see if I had the like penitentiary outfit. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of a bit till I find it maybe. I guess definitely not maybe one, I'm certain of that. Guess probably doesn't have it either, but yeah. I think I know how to get through the minis fast using a stick and the D-pad, but yeah. It's not DJ though? I thought it wouldn't be DJ. It's called Manor PRPG. Maybe it's clubs then? I don't know. Maybe I'm in the wrong section then, I don't know. I could swear that it was in there somewhere. Unless it was in this labels one or something. I had it earlier in the session. Maybe I'm just blind and I went through it or something.
Let me know if you need a hand, okay?
Ah, here it is, okay. Since there's literally 67 in this one section, I just couldn't find it for some reason. But yeah. All players will get the Manor PRBGT. So I guess just for logging in, you get this one. And I don't necessarily remember them giving that out before. Could be wrong on that, but I don't remember having it before. Again, I don't think I've done no like DJ requests, so it could be something tied to that or something that they gave out for everyone. I don't know. And I'll go back to the card meet and then talk about the discounts and be done. Bro's doing Kyle pretty good eyes of multiple people, bro. Like, what are you doing? Inviting randoms to do a Kyle pretty good eyes. It's not efficient, man. Only options there, but still. But yeah. Starting off with property discounts, I know there's one on me being foreclosure, plus there's the MOC, which has discounts, which is part vehicle, part property as well, in a sense. But yeah. Alright, that's not a good example, since I have a free for starter pack. But yeah. If you want the most expensive bunker, I believe the Thompson Scrapyard bunker is the most expensive, being almost 2.3 million. And that must be a 40% off discount. But yeah, 40% off discount on bunkers, and then their upgrades, renovations, and modifications, those are also 40% off. So I don't know if that means if the staff and equipment, stuff like that, is on 40% off as well. Sometimes they don't do the staff equipment stuff on the discounts, but yeah. Style, cosmetic. Quarter lets you spawn in there. I don't feel that bunker is a very good spawning property though, so I don't really highly recommend that one. Shooting range, you can actually get it increased on your your throwable ammo capacity. You can actually get like +5 on like grenades and like sticky bombs and stuff. So shooting range can be kind of nice. Gun locker. Gun locker lets you store your weapons if you don't want clutter in the weapon wheel. And then obviously the transportation is definitely nice for the bunker. That seems to be the most expensive bunker, on the 40% off. And then the MLC has discounts as well, as you would expect an event week that has 2 times mobile operations. But yeah, I have the hauler custom, but yeah, the discount also applies to the hauler custom if you have like the Phantom custom or you don't have any, for example. But yeah, the mobile operations center, the cabs are 40% off, and then I imagine the Yeti upgrades as well. But yeah, command center, I believe it gives you like weaponry for the MLC. The MLC's weaponry is actually pretty decent. It's explosive ammo fruit at all. However, the Avenger has the exact same weapon and it goes in the air, so if you want that weaponry, you should probably get an Avenger instead. Is probably the better option with that weaponry. But yeah, there's a weapon and vehicle workshop that takes up 2 bays that I will take up bay 2 and bay 3, which I don't recommend these days. And then yeah, you can do living quarter or empty bay. I went with the weapon workshop though, so I could use bay 3 for something better. And bay 3, if I didn't do weapon and vehicle workshop, what's the good option? That is the personal vehicle storage. Gives you 1 more slot for your personal vehicle, so you can own 1 more personal vehicle, which is definitely quite awesome. So yeah, this is the thing I definitely recommend the most for the MLC in 2021 still. Weapon workshop, you can get the weapon workshop in a lot of different places now, but yeah, it's probably the best thing that could go in Bay 2 with the personal vehicle storage and whatnot. So I still have it regardless. And then command center for the weaponry. Comes with the first one as standard, but I think you can upgrade in the bunker to have 3 of them. But again, you can get the same exact weaponry on the Avenger, so the Avenger is the better option if you want that weaponry. And obviously there's the cosmetic interior color as well. And yeah, Phantom and Hauler Custom, there's not really too much different with them. I feel like Hauler Custom, I remember this one being the more expensive one, so I imagine it's obviously the better one. Phantom Custom might have like 1 advantage or 2 or something, but yeah, Hauler Custom in general is probably the better one. Yeah, the MSC I mainly just recommend for the mobile operations these days. Aside for those exquisite mobile operations, I don't feel the MSC is really something that would probably get used that often. Because if you want weaponry, like I mentioned, the Avenger has the same, but it goes in air, so it's better in the weaponry department. So really these days, it's best for the personal vehicle storage if you want that extra personal vehicle slot, which is definitely nice if you want to own as much vehicles as you want. And then, yeah. And then the mobile operations, which the Avenger doesn't have a money-making opportunity that only it can do. And I think the rest should all be vehicle discounts, like regular vehicle discounts, not property-based, like the MOC, for example. There's a clothing discount, actually, right now, where all the LS Car Meet merch shop racing suits are 30% off at the car meet. So that's basically the outfits, I believe, for the clothing here. But yeah, there's a discount sign on this one, for example. Good luck actually getting this ranked 1,000 one year, though, on discount, though. That's basically impossible, like the arena, I imagine. And it's way more feasible than the arena, because you can just go AFK on property. You don't have to, like, spin a wheel or, like, play the, like, actual game mode or something, but yeah. I don't really see anyone getting that one on discount. Was there a reason I went on here? I forget. I don't know, maybe if I meant to go on there or something. Oh yeah, the throwables. I wanted to show off the throwable capacity thing with the shooting range. But yeah, normally you can only hold 25 grenades, 25 sticky bombs, 5 proximity mines. I think this might normally be 10 for the pipe bombs. I'm imagining that one gets increased as well. Tear gas, you can normally only hold 25. Molotovs can normally only hold 25 in like the story mode, for example. That's like the standard capacity. So yeah, all but the jerry can here in the throwable section, you get a +5 on that if you get to a certain point on the shooting range. So that's how you can get some extra throwable like ammo capacity with the shooting range bunker. So that's why I said that one's kind of worth it. Which sounds kind of weird for a shooting range, but yeah, it does have its uses.
Looking forward to getting ripped later.
And now the rest should be vehicle discounts, since I had to mention the outfit thing still. And then there's 4 vehicle discounts that aren't property related, that are 35 and like 30% off. Like I think there's 2 on Legendary and then 1 Stubborn and then 1 War Stock for the vehicle discounts. I'll start with Legendary because it appears first. But yeah, the Ocelot Jugular over here being 35% off instead of being 918,000 to 1,225,000. It's instead 597,187 for trade price, and then the full price right now is 796,250. I think this one has to use as a getaway vehicle, I think for Diamond Casino Heist, I believe. Alright, yeah, even though it didn't release an update, it's a getaway vehicle that can be used in Diamond Casino Heist. You don't have to actually use it, you just have to have it selected, because using a getaway vehicle is quite inefficient for the Diamond Casino Heist. It's better to just, like, take a police vehicle and, like, the racetrack and then, like, drive out of there. But, yeah. That's how you get that trade price. But, yeah. Almost 600,000 at the lowest. Definitely seems pretty good. It's worth noting that the Jaguar is a 4-door sport car. Being a 4-door sport car, that's pretty unique, and I think the performance is actually pretty good for being a 4-door sport car. So you're not really sacrificing the performance too much as far as I remember. But yeah. For lap time, going off a roughly 1.322 spreadsheet for the jugular here, it's actually a 9th place lap time for performance. So it is within the top 10 for lap time, in the lower end of the top 10, but still can still definitely be decent for racing. And then the jugular for top speed is actually even better, being 5th place. So it is in the top 5, at the bottom of the top 5 for top speed. So you are getting some pretty decent performance for both lap time and top speed, plus you're getting a 4-door sport car, which could be good for like heist stuff and whatnot. If you're like using a civilian vehicle for some reason, like a heist setup from like a 2015 heist or a Doomsday heist or something. So yeah, Jugular definitely has its uses, and its performance isn't bad in any like capacity, so it's definitely a good pickup, I would say. And since you can definitely get it in like 1 or 2 Caraprico heists if you want it, then definitely get it, I would say. But yeah, because of the longer event week, it's basically suggesting that there's a DLC right around the corner, so I don't necessarily think that's the brightest idea. Says someone who's been spending money on their like vehicles in their apartment and stuff. I've actually been buying vehicles recently, trying to build up certain like apartments and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll definitely probably be saving up pretty soon here. Or maybe the last like week or something. And then the Tempesta, I think, is the other one on the site. But yeah, it's 35% off. Certain this one's 35% off as well. But yeah, this one is a supercar, I'm pretty certain, back from the import and export DLC, which is late 2016. But yeah, this is 1,320,000 normally, and with a trade price, right? Not with a trade price, I don't think this has a trade price, but with a discount of 35% off, it's 863,050. That's almost 500,000 in savings, which is kind of decent. But yeah, is it worth getting? I would say probably not, if I were to take a guess. But yeah, I gotta get to it on the spreadsheet here. But yeah. The Tempesta for lap time in this supercar class is actually 11th place. So 11th place at lap time, that's a little bit beneath the top 10. That could still be usable in some cases, I guess. And top speed for the Tempesta. Top speed for the Tempesta is 36th place, going off a roughly 1.322 spreadsheet. So 11th place on the lap time, just one placement beneath top 10 isn't too bad. However, top speed not that worth it, so This one I would kind of pass on. I would definitely say Jugular is definitely the better one of the two on this website this time. And yeah, there's no Prime Gaming vehicle discounts again for some reason. It's only like 100,000 for Prime Gaming this time, like they've been doing recently, last couple times. The one discount on Warstock, it was already like on there when I went to like the gun running vehicles, and that was the P996 Laser, which apparently Joe Built manufactures that one. But yeah, almost 2 million off the Laser. I believe it's a 30% off discount instead of being literally 6.5 million. About 2 million in savings there. The Laser, if you have it as a Pegasus vehicle, that can be pretty damn good, obviously, with the crazy explosive cannons it has. And the rockets. The rockets are nothing special, they're standard tracking, plus I think there's a cooldown on the, like, missiles. You can't just spam the missiles like you can on vehicles like the Savage, and then a lot of the, like, later vehicles that ended up being missiles and whatnot, that have, like, no cooldowns and whatnot. But yeah. It's one of the couple vehicles in the game with the most powerful weapon in the game through a vehicle being explosive cannons. That's pretty damn good. The only thing obviously is that the P996 Laser, it's not like the Hydra where you have the VTOL mode. So yeah, if you want like a more usable like fighter jet in certain circumstances, the Hydra with the VTOL mode, which lets it turn into kind of like helicopters, kind of better. Plus it's cheaper. But definitely don't pass up on the laser here, being like 4.5 million. Like, yeah, you might have to spend a few hours to get it, but if you don't have it, it's a very good vehicle that you can just call through Pegasus. And then if you put it in your hangar, you can have it as a personal aircraft, which means you can spawn it with even more convenience if you have it in the hangar. But I don't think it's worth having in the hangar if you want like the vehicles in your hangar that can be like fully customized, not just with a respray. Because if you put it in the hangar, all you can do is respray it, which is definitely a waste of the like 20 slots in the hangar, I would say. So I don't think it's worth a hangar slot necessarily, but of course if you do have it as a hangar slot, it is easier to call in like different circumstances and whatnot. So yeah, definitely can be pretty nice. You can get some nice extra spawn convenience if you order it for here. But yeah, you can just steal it from Fortune and Kudo, so it's not the greatest buy, but it's definitely very good regardless. And the last one here, I believe is the number FF. Yeah, from Santos summer special here, 35% off, like the other civilian vehicles. But yeah, gotta get to its performance here. I think it's sport car, I imagine here. Alright, yeah, it's a sport car. But yeah, the number FF in terms of performance is 37th place. 37th place at lap time, not good at all, being way beneath top 10. And then top speed. Top speed is even worse, actually being 72nd place. And for a vehicle in 2020 to have that bad performance, that's just terrible. So obviously get it if it has nice customizations, which I don't really know how the customizations are. I imagine it's good, but yeah. I don't say it's really worth picking up this one, especially. It's probably the worst of the 4 discounts this week for vehicle discounts. Or like a few discounts, including like the MOC. But the MOC, the laser, does definitely have good purpose and goes with the jugular. And the 10 pace does one slot beneath top 10 for a lap time, but still. The ones that pass on the most would probably be the Penumbra FF, and then 10 pace that is are probably the 2D to definitely avoid. And the best couple, definitely the jugular, the MOC, and then the laser. And that should be it here. Alright, yeah. That is finally it for the stream. Next stream will obviously be a continuation of the like walkthrough for Grand Theft Auto 3. I think in the next part for that, I'm going to be doing like the Portland import and export for the emergency one as well as the civilian one, because I kind of looked into it some more, and it definitely seems like just the emergency one, there's only like 7 vehicles. That would not be a whole hour. So I'll definitely be doing some importing and exporting in Grand Theft Auto 3, the definitive edition for next part for that. And then when Red Dead gets its event week, or if it gets a whole DLC or something, I'll be doing that. But yeah, that will finally be it for this stream. Hopefully I went into good detail with all those vehicles and stuff. I've tried to think of as much as I could for them. That's finally going to be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.